Betty. Oh my God, I feel like I'm like accepting a Grammy right now or something. This is insane. My nerves are like off the freaking chart right now. Okay, so just excuse me. This just feels so big. My soul was like calling me to do this master class. It feels like I am just really stepping into a way, way, way bigger energy in my life right now. And I just felt super, super called to do this masterclass. It is a series, remember that? So it is a 3-part series. So we are going on a journey. This is just our first day, okay? This is just our first evening. And I have a feeling that many of you are going to be blown away by this. I have a feeling that many of you, this is like going to change your life in some way, shape, or form. So just keep that in mind. And you know it's serious when I have my hat on, okay? Um, so I'm super excited to get started. Let me know in the chat, how are we doing? Is this your first time ever like being in one of my master classes before or seeing me? Like, is this your first time seeing me? How are you? What are you up to? What energy are you in? What are you hoping to get from this master class? I mean, even if you just answer one of those questions, it's fine. You don't have to answer all of them. But if you want to, you can too. Like, feel free to be talkative, you know, like we are embracing all of our damn selves tonight. Okay. Like that is the energy that we are in. Hello, 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 everyone. Oh my gosh, this is your first Erica. Welcome. Welcome. Well, I hope that this gives you a breakthrough and more. Naya is an OG. Naya's been around so, so long. Hello, everyone. Jonas, this is your first masterclass. Welcome. Oh my gosh, Katie, you just came across me yesterday. Yes. I love that. I love that. So, okay, feel free to keep the chat going, keep the party going in the chat. Okay, no shame in that. Hello, Luann. Oh, welcome, Melanie. Yes, 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 yes. Okay, so keep the party going through the chat. And also keep the party going in the Quantum She Facebook group. If you are not a part of my Quantum She Facebook group, you are missing out. I post in there every single day. Don't be afraid to be active in there. Share with us, like communicate, right? We're creating a sisterhood, a brotherhood. This isn't just for women. It is also for men. All is welcome. All of you is welcome. And I want my Facebook group to be a reflection of that, even though it is called the Quantum She, okay? But I want it to be a reflection of that. And I want everybody to continue the party in the Facebook group. So, okay, let's get started. So I am taking you on a 3-day journey. This is just class number 1. And I really, really want you to really commit to taking this journey, to going on this journey with me. Like not just watching this class and then being like, that was really powerful, but oh my gosh, like other things came up and I'm going to miss it. Like I want you to be here tomorrow. I want you to be here Friday. Like that is where you will get the most from this. And I want you to get the most from this because I am setting a new standard in my world. I'm doing a lot of big changes with this masterclass. I've never done a 3-day masterclass before. This is my first time. I'm popping my cherry here. So, yeah, like we're just fucking doing it. I have certain notes, but I may get off my notes. So I'm just trusting that whatever comes out was meant to come out. You were meant to hear it, and that's just how it's going to go. So this may not be for everyone, but I have a feeling that it will change some people's lives, maybe many people's lives, as well as my own. And this is probably going to land the most with people that feel like they have a big purpose, right? That feel like you have a big purpose, you have a big mission, and especially if that purpose involves helping other people in some way. Okay, especially if that purpose involves helping other people, development, or you own your own business or whatever, right? You're going to get the most out of this, but you'll get things out of it even if you don't. Okay, so don't just click out, don't give up on it just yet, just wait and see. I also have a really big, like game-changing freaking announcement that I'm going to be making at the end of this video or this particular class where everything freaking changes, okay, for me, and where I'm going to be kind of announcing my next level. So stick around for that. Also, I always am open to, if you want to share about this on social media, if you want to take like a little boomerang video, or if you want to take a picture and tag me. There is a giveaway going on. If you did not check your confirmation email, basically, if you say that you're in this masterclass and you tag me on social media, you will be entered into the giveaway. The giveaway is still going. I will announce the winners on Friday in our last class. So you still have time. The more you share, the more places you share, the more points you get. And I will tell you, not many people have participated. So the odds are endless right now, okay? Anyway, so before we start, I want to just take a second and I want to kind of shake it out. So wherever you are right now, just like shake it out, just shake it all out. I'm really doing this for me because I'm nervous, but also do this for you too, because if you're carrying any stress, if you're carrying any tension, any pressure, like fuck that shit, just get rid of it, right? Shake it out, like breathe and just like let it go. Okay, like really, really let it go. So the next thing that we're going to get into is basically the premise of this masterclass series. And this masterclass series is going to be kind of a roller coaster. It was really hard for me to come up with the wording and the messaging and all of that, which is why I kind of left it a mystery, because I wasn't even all the way sure. When I came out with it, I was like still kind of waiting on some things to really hit. And then it all hit today at the last minute, which happens a lot of the times with a lot of my masterclasses. And it's just amazing that all of you in here felt called to this, because something in this spoke to you. Something in this, you felt pulled to, right? Whether it's just the fact that you've worked with me before and my master classes are pretty good, whether it's just the fact that you're just finding me and something energetically pulled you to this, whatever the case may be, like something pulled you here for some reason, right? So anyways, what I really want to start with is I want to tell you a story. And I want to start this journey with where my journey started. And because I feel like there's a lot of new people in my world, people may not know, and maybe you don't know about this, but I felt very, very lost for most of my life. I felt like I didn't fit in. I felt like an alien half the time. I felt like an outcast. I really felt like there was just something wrong with me and my wiring. I didn't know what my purpose was for a while. I didn't know what I was meant to do. I had certain interest in things that sounded good, but that I felt pulled to kind of, but I wasn't quite sure. And so when I was kind of on my journey, I really, started realizing eventually that I went through a lot of transformations in my life. Like I went my life felt like a roller coaster, like one big change after another, right? I really felt like I was always transforming. My identity was always transforming. I would think I was one way and then I was a new way. And then I would think I was that way and then I was a whole nother way. And then my life would transform right before my eyes. Right? I went through so much death. I went through a lot of different things. I had an addiction for a hot minute when I was younger. I mean, I really dealt with a lot of things. I had a near-death experience, which led to my awakening. I mean, my story is freaking insane. So what ended up happening, though, was when I embarked on my spiritual journey and into self-development, I really was like, I felt like I finally found my home. I felt like I finally found my place, right? I was like, oh my gosh, like this is my path. Like this is what I've been missing for so freaking long. Like this is what I've been missing. And in this journey, since about 2018, that I have been helping other people online, I've also went through a lot of transformation. If you've been around for a while, you've seen the many different stages of myself and my identities and my life and the different things that I have gone through. And I still, in those stages, would feel very lost at some points in time. And I would still deal with this like gnawing feeling that transformation was always right around the corner. And even if I felt good now, there would be another point in time where I would be questioning myself again, and I would feel lost, and I would feel like I didn't know who I was, and all of these different things. And what I really ended up realizing along this journey, and what so much of this is about, and it's like a very simple truth, right, is that I am multidimensional. I am multifaceted. I am multi-passionate. And my new biggest passion, my new biggest purpose is to help other multidimensional beings. Not only just multidimensional beings, but multidimensional leaders, multidimensional badasses, multidimensional humans that want to help other people. And this is really huge for me because eventually in this journey that I've been having my own business, working for myself, helping other people, I've really realized that all of the transformation that I used to feel so negatively about, that I used to feel shameful of, that I used to like really, really hate about myself and my life was the very thing that was my superpower. Like, I am a transformationist, okay? I am a transformational artist. I am so fucking great when it comes to transformation because I have gotten that shit down. And what I have realized is that in the journey of helping other people, most people are great with transformation. Whatever you want to help other people with deals with some kind of transformation. I used to think that I was just like transformation was just my thing, right? But it's really not. It's really not just my thing. Anybody that wants to make an impact on the world, you want to transform someone, right? I had a one-on-one consultation with a beautiful woman like a week or so ago. She may be in here, and she wanted to do all these different things, right? She gave me like skincare and beauty and healing and mental health and, weight loss and like all these different things. And she's like, I can't pick one. And so like I drew it out, for her, and I was like, okay, we have all these different things. What's the common denominator with all of these things? And she was like, I'm not sure. And I was like, it seems to me like it's some kind of transformation. And she was like, oh my God, that's it. And I was like, but what does transformation mean to you? And she thought about it for a minute. She was like, self-love. And I was like, that's your thing. Because all of these things are different kinds of self-love. And that's the journey that you've been on. Because as healers, as coaches, as anybody that helps other people or wants to make an impact, your biggest testimonial is always yourself. Like, you are the number one project at all times, right? Not to say that you're not perfect and all of that in your own right, but you are the number one testimonial. You are your number one client. And if you can't lead yourself through the journey, then how are you going to lead others through the journey, right? And so all of the things that you've been through have gotten you to this point, and you can either look at them as curses, or you can look at them as they are your blessings. They are the thing that makes you different. They are the thing that has given you your superpower to like help other people. You've clocked this portion of life, whatever it is, transformation, self-love, going through trauma, going through chaos, having abandonment, whatever it is. You can sit here and look at it as like, oh, I always have to deal with this, or there's always is coming up. Well, have you ever considered it may be part of your purpose? It may be part of the thing that you're here to help give to humanity. It may be a part of the impact that you're supposed to make. And if you really think back, you've been doing this your whole life in some way, shape, or form. Because when I really thought back to this, I was like, holy shit, I've been a coach my whole life. I used to coach my friends. I used to give my friends makeovers and give them clothes and empower them to leave the fuckboy behind, like I was that kind of friend. I would help them have breakthroughs. I would help them like do all the things. Like, I was that kind of person. I've been doing this my whole life. And that's what became really, really clear to me as I started going through this journey. Like, I've been doing this since I was a kid, right? The other real big key thing that I've had to realize in this journey is that the journey on your soul purpose, if you are on your soul purpose, or even if you're on the journey to manifestation, or even if you're on the journey to fulfilling your dream life, whatever journey that feels like soulful, it feels like I'm being called to this, or I'm yearning to do this, right? Whatever journey that is, especially aligned business as well, even if it's business, even if it's like, helping other people, self-development, it is going to require you to become more and more of yourself. And we were kind of talking about this in lunch last night because I had this download the other day that was like, holy shit, this journey is all about you becoming more and more and more of yourself. And the reason that we get scared and the reason that we hold back I realized last night as I was talking about this in our launch transmission, which was super powerful, I realized that the whole reason that we hold back is not because we're afraid that we're not good enough, or not because we're afraid that it doesn't work out, or not because we're afraid that we're going to succeed, but we're afraid to be more of ourselves in the process. Because this means ditching the shit that isn't us. This means raising our standards. This means cleaning up the shit in our lives. This means being honest, setting the boundary. This means embracing bravery and being courageous. This means embracing fear. This means dealing with uncomfortable feelings, facing conflict. All of those things, all of those abilities we have within us, we're just leaning more towards the lack than the creation, which is something else we're going to talk about in this masterclass series. So following your purpose really requires you to like become more and more who you are as you shed away more and more who you're not. Because the more and more I up level, and I mean, I'm like, by the week, I feel like I'm a different person. Every week I look back and I'm like, I don't even relate with that anymore. I'm totally different now, right? Like, and the more and more that I grow and evolve, the more and more I realize that like I was this person all along. It was just so clogged up by all of the bullshit, all of the I can't, oh my God, because I was scared to step into who I really was and be seen. I was scared to be seen in my fullness. I was not giving myself permission to do that because I was boxing myself in. And when you box yourself in, you are dimming yourself down. You are making yourself so small to fit in a teeny tiny little box that you're not freaking supposed to fit into. Because we are multidimensional. And when I had this realization, it was actually earlier this year, in the beginning of this year, about being multidimensional and embracing that and that being okay. Because I used to think that if I was an astrologer, I couldn't be a spiritual teacher. And if I was a spiritual teacher, I couldn't be a coach. And if I was a coach, how was I going to also be an astrologer? And then if I was a spiritual coach, then I also couldn't like help people with their businesses and help people that help other people and all of the different things. Like, how is it all going to add together? Like, masculine and feminine polarity and energetics and manifestation and quantum leaping and astrology and all the things, like how? That was never a problem. How was never the problem. It's that my scope wasn't big enough to incorporate all that. It was conditioned thinking that I have to be one thing and stick to one thing, and that's what you do. Well, I'm here to say fuck that. Like, I am here to say fuck that. No more. Like, no more. We can be all of the freaking things. Who says we have to stick to one damn thing, one damn niche, or one damn title, right? Because really none of those titles are really me. They are just tools that I have. I can coach. I can do astrology. I can do spiritual shit. Woohoo. You know, like they're all tools that I have. Like, I know a lot about self-development. I know a lot about energetics. I know about a lot about quantum leaping, like all of the things, like they're all just tools that I have. Right. And I was like trying to make them my identity. And it's like, you know, like I'm the magic here, not the tools. So anyways, so I realized that my deepest purpose is being a transformational artist. I am an artist of transformation. I help people close gaps. I help people make, you know, big transformations within themselves, which then equates to their lives. And it's been an incredible experience just seeing what I'm really capable of in these last several years and the things that I've been helping people with, especially lately. Lately it has been insane. And then I've really realized that this is the true art of coaching and helping others. Like, this is the true art of it. It's being able to close gaps for people. It's being able to calibrate to people's energy, right? Like it's being able to guide people that can lead themselves, hopefully, because it's not mothering people and it's also not babysitting people. So we collapse time on big results when we coach, when we help others, when we make an impact on on the world. And so what I really also want to get into with this is, you know, when I kind of said screw being one thing, when I kind of was like, I'm done boxing myself in, like I'm going to be multidimensional. And I really realized that this was a journey of me becoming more of myself, more authentic. Because how are you supposed to do this journey if you can't be authentic? If you have to be someone that you're not to do it, it doesn't work. I've done it. I've tried it. I have tried it. How are you supposed to do it if you're only supposed to be one thing? How are you supposed to do it if you have to box yourself into one thing? It's gonna suck. It's gonna be pretty shitty. And so in this process, I realized that I don't need the boxes. I don't need the conditioning, that I just be myself. I make it big enough to support all of me. I make my vision bigger to support all of it. So it's also very much about being your authentic self. And when you become your authentic self, you start really realizing the energetics of embodiment, which is where we're going next. And you start realizing how magnetic you are. So when it comes to magnetism, what magnetism really is true embodiment in your authenticity, which also leads to energetic alignment. And so this isn't acting as if. This is not acting as if, right? And in fact, I very much rebel against the whole acting as if, because you're acting, you're not embodying. That's not the same thing. To embody is to feel in your body, to be aligned in your body with how you feel you are. Now, I don't know if that's the correct definition. I'm just making that up because I didn't go and write down the definition for embodiment, but it's something along those lines, right? And so when we get into embodiment, it's so very much about embodying the energy. And if our energy isn't matching our actions, then our masculine and feminine energy is off. And then our magnetism is off. There's something going on, right? And so to really get our energy straight, we have to really dive into embodiment. We have to really dive into like why we are not embodied in the thing. And usually it's because of some story that we're telling ourselves that we have to like be one thing or the other, or that we have to do one thing or the other, or that we have to box ourselves into something, or some kind of shame that we're dealing with. And really shame is just a story. I'm not worthy because I did X, pretty much. There's something wrong with me because I did X, or I feel X, or I have X, whatever, right? That's really shame. It's a story. Now, the energy that's created from that story definitely can hide in your body. So it is important to like really work that out. But when we let go of the shame, and one of the greatest ways to let go of shame is to expose yourself because shame gets its power in the darkness. Shame is like secretive, and you know, it hides in the shadows, right? It's like the Dementors, you know, in Harry Potter. Like that's shame. And when light comes, it's like, whoop, gone. When I came back to the internet after my break earlier this year in like spring, I had a lot of shame. And I just started posting all these like different posts about basically exposing how I felt, that I was having a hard time, like all anything that I felt like about. I just like, instead of feeling like, oh my God, how am I going to come back? And how am I going to explain this? And like, oh my God, I'm just like, just fucking be authentic. Like that is like my number one principle in everything that I do, especially online and with helping other people. Like, be authentic. If you're not authentic, it doesn't work the same. So that's really what that's about. So when it comes to magnetism, it's really about being all of you. And this whole journey is really about being all of you while taking over the world. Really. And that's kind of the energy that I've been in lately, or at least going after your goals if taking over the world is not your desire. But and when it comes to working with other people, it's really about taking people through a journey that you've been able to embody, right? It's really about taking people through a journey that you've been able to embody. And in this journey together, I want to take you through the journey of really embodying your own power. And so this 3-part masterclass is going to be very much about power, energetics, embodiment, manifestation, all of the things, all of the different pieces of my world that I take my clients through, that I have programs on. Now, obviously, I can't go over every single thing with you, but I'm giving you a little bit of all of it because these are the different tools. These are the different lessons that have helped me. And it may seem a little bit all over the place. So this isn't like for those of you that need a like real nice structure, right? Like I caught myself trying to like make this really clean and like try to split it up in a way that all made sense. And then I was like, fuck this, like I'm just doing it. Right? Like I'm just being authentic, I'm just doing it. Like it doesn't need to be perfect, right? And so that's kind of where I've been at. So but I really want to take you through this journey in these next 3 days that it's going to resonate. Like I said, it may not resonate with all of you. You may not be in a place where this is hitting you right now, and that's totally fine. But the ones that it resonates with are going to resonate with it. So really quick, before we move forward, let me know in the chat, how are we doing? Is this all landing with you? How are you feeling about everything? Just reading your comments. Yes, 2.0, let's go. Yes. Yes. Oh my God, okay. I'm so glad. Thank you for the update. So, and thank you for being here with me tonight because there's so many other places that you could be. There's so many other things that you could be doing. So I really, really appreciate you being here with me tonight. So let's get into energetics and embodiment. So energetics, the way that I look at this is I look at this in a feminine and masculine polarity. Energetics and the embodiment piece of this are very feminine. This is feminine energy, right? I don't know if you've ever heard of, I'm sure a lot of you have probably heard of like the be, do, have concept. Well, I kind of take that and I break it down even more because when I was well, first off, these words kind of came to me. They were like, I kind of channeled them. And then I kind of found all these people that were talking about them like months later and realized people have been talking about it for years. And it's been like a concept that's really popular. So pretty much, when it comes to this, I've kind of like, you know, broken these down into like feminine and masculine polarity. The being part for me is very feminine. It's again the embodiment. The being part is the energetics and the embodiment. And this is where this is important, right? Because when we talk about the being, right, how do you be, right? A lot of people in the manifestation world tell you to act as if, right? Like act as if and be your future self. And I am telling you right now, as much as connecting to your future self can be very powerful, and I am not necessarily against that, what I am against is rejecting your present self for your future self. This got me into a lot of trouble last year, and you don't hear many people talking about this. You know, this is not about like, oh, I need to completely be my future self and act how she would act and do what she would do. Like, no, your future self is built off of you right now. Your future self is built off of the foundation that you, your present self, is laying right freaking now. So if you're trying to be someone else and not here right now, right? And you're trying to reject who you are right now and be and reject your present self to be someone that you think you should be, that would be like a version of your future self, right? You're starting an internal conflict within yourself. And this causes issues over time. Because what happened is when I started being like my future self, I started neglecting parts of myself, not habits. That's one thing. I can understand habits and things outside of you and all of that. But I mean like parts of yourself, right? I started neglecting different parts of myself that seemed childish, immature, my human, you know, like all of the more like human parts of me because they didn't fit in with this ideal future version of myself. This like classy, elegant, sleek, like, oh my God, she's such a badass, like kind of version of myself, right? And I realized that I was doing this eventually because I was stuck. And then I realized that I was like really pushing down certain parts of myself. And it kept me stuck. And so I wasn't manifesting shit. And I was like kind of regressing actually, you know? And so why I'm saying this is because that was a very valuable lesson to me, that there's always one foot in the now and one foot in the future. You can have one foot in the past too, but usually the past keeps you stuck. The past slows you down. So when you're really aligned, there's like one foot in the now, one foot in the future, right? And you have to keep that foot in the now, because the now is where your power always is. Your future has no power because it's not here yet, right? So really all we have is the now, technically. But I mean, one foot in your future, and creating and thinking about what you desire your future to be, because so often we are not thinking about what we desire or what we want our future to be. We're going in a straight line and we're making the same decisions over and over and over and over again. And then we're wondering why nothing is the same, because we're in the same perspective that we've been in for however long. And so to change the perspective, we have to move and get off of this line, right? Which means we have to move. We have to, if we want clarity, we have to move. I was talking about this in lunch earlier today too. It's like you're standing in front of a hill and you're like, what's on the other side of the hill? I can't see. Well, yeah, no shit, you can't see because you're standing, there's a hill in front of you. But if you a lot of us keep standing there and trying to figure out what the hell is wrong, right? We're like, well, what's wrong? Why can't I see? I wonder what it is. Something here must be blocking me. Something here must be, you know, like, well, I wonder what it is. And we stay there and we walk in circles and circles and circles. And then one day when we get fed up enough, we're like, I'm going to walk up the hill. I'm just going to move. I'm going to move out of this space. And I don't care where it takes me. I'm just going to move. And so you move. And then when you move, your perspective shifts. You get on top of the hill and you see the whole thing. And you're like, holy shit, it was right here, you know? That's how you get clarity. And so often we're just hanging out right here, right? So when we want to quantum leap in our lives, and I know I'm like getting off track again, but this is kind of, you know, whatever. Like I said, I'm going with it. When we quantum leap in our lives, we go from here to here. And what takes us from here to here is a decision usually. When you think back on your life and you think about all of the different times in your life where you went through a massive, massive shift, like where you made a decision and it's like everything changed after that decision. Like everything literally changed after that decision. Like your whole life didn't even look the same. Like you're a different person. Different people are now coming into your world. Different things are now happening. And it's like now you look back on that person that you were when you made that decision. It's like you don't even know who that person is anymore, right? Like you don't even relate with that part of your life because it's changed so much, right? That was a quantum leap. And it took me a while to realize this, that we all likely have been through a quantum leap at some point in our lives. We were just unaware of it. But when I started doing this and when I started becoming aware of it, I was like, oh, holy shit. There is a pattern to this, right? It's not just like random, you know, there's a pattern. Like I made the decision and it was a different decision than the decisions I've been making here that were keeping me here. I made a decision up here, right? And this is what people really mean when they say embody your future self and make decisions from that place. But it's not really about that in my experience. You're still making decisions from this place, but you're making a different one because of, yes, your future, because you're thinking more about your future and what you want. But there is like the decision itself is the shift. That's where you shift from where you are here to up here. And it can be almost instantly at times in my experience. So something else when it comes to embodiment and energetics is if your next level feels hard, it's because there's usually some kind of energetic cleanup work to do. So there's something in your life that your energy is going towards that you need to patch up. If you're out of motivation, if you don't have the energy, if you're feeling drained, if you have a lot of things in your life that you don't like or that you don't desire, and you're not where you want to be, likely there is something that your energy is going towards that you need to cut off or shift so it's not getting so much of your energy at the very least, right? It may be a boundary you need to set. It may be something that you need to, deal with, whatever it is, a fear that you need to face, a relationship that you've been knowing isn't aligned. These are the things that keep us stuck. These are the things that keep us stuck. And so if your next level feels hard and it feels like even if you wanted to get there, it'd be like kind of pushing, this is what's keeping you stuck where you're at. So, and this is a lot to do with the energetics of lack versus creation. So often we we play in the realm of lack. And this is where personal power comes in, and worthiness and all of the things, which is really the other part of being. So in terms of our personal power, right? Our personal power is our life force energy. And we have the power to create, we have the power to destroy, right? Like think about, the power that you have to create the life that you have now. And then think about the power that you have to punch a wall and put a hole in the wall, or to destroy something or tear something apart. Like these are both different levels of power, right? These are both different instances of you using your power. Now, when it comes to really like aligning in terms of your inner power, the first key to get there, and as I've mentioned before, is taking radical ownership of your life. Like that is the key. Until you do that, nothing can change. Why? Because you will always need, when you are not in your power, you will always need someone above you or something above you. Disempowered people need someone or something above them. And I know because I've been there, right? We all have been there at some point in our lives. We always don't like to admit it, but we've been there. And so disempowered people will need someone or something above them. It's this person's fault. It's this person's fault. It's this day's fault. I'm just having a bad day. I don't have the money. It's the government. It's this, it's that, like all of it, right? That is where we are not taking ownership of our part, right? Now, there are instances where things happen to us that, are not our fault. So I'm not talking about those times, right? I'm talking about the control that you have over your life and the ownership you have in the way that your life is. Because if you're waiting on, if you are not in your power, you cannot change anything. Because you're going to be waiting on someone else to do it, or you're going to be getting pissed off at other people because they're not doing it. You're going to be waiting around for your circumstances. You're going to be waiting around for your circumstances to change because you're saying that they have the power, that your circumstances are a living, breathing entity that has the power. If you are blaming your circumstances, no one has the power to change for yourself or your life but you. No one has that power but you. So this is so freaking important. And not enough people, I feel, are really like embodying this. When you truly claim ownership of your life, no matter how uncomfortable, which does require a little bit of humility because it means that you're not right. Because a lot of the times we spend so much time arguing that we have all these reasons why we can't. We spend so much time arguing against what we want, our desires, our dreams, and not enough time actually saying like, hey, I have the power to do something about this. What's my part in this? I'm not owning my part. And as soon as we freaking do, everything changes. The world opens up. The universe opens up. But until then, nothing changes. Because you're waiting on something else to change. Because you think that for you to change, something outside of you needs to change. So if you're really ready for more in your life, if you're really ready to step into like your next level, your 2.0, it's going to require some ownership. It is going to require some ownership. Radical ownership over your life, radical ownership over where you're at right now. No one else can be blamed for how you react, your actions, your feelings, and your life. Yes, there are things that happen to you along the way that don't feel too good and that you did not have a part in if you were a victim to something, right? But you do have a part in how you choose to continue to move through life. You can let that continuously hold you back and dwell on it, or you can take ownership of your life and move on. And I have been a victim to some horrendous things in my life, so I completely understand. But I'm not going to spend my life and my energy and my power pretending that that still has power over me. Because that's really what it is. When we are disempowered, when we are not in our power, we can use our power in different ways. And one way we can use our power by taking radical ownership, changing our lives, not blaming other people, being accountable, being responsible, showing up with our potency, all of the things. Or we can use our power by pretending that we don't have the power. And that's what we do a lot. I can't. Well, if I had the money, you know, money doesn't grow on trees. Oh, if my job, my boss, you know, my boss, it's my boss, you know, my boss is the reason my job sucks. If he wasn't there, I'm telling you, like if he wasn't there, my family, it is my family. My family drives me crazy. My family is the reason, my childhood, my trauma, my past, all of the things. If these are always your reasons for being held back, you're going to find more and more of them. Because you're using your power to pretend that you're teeny tiny. And that you are powerless and everything else is just crazy and it's all that and not me. But while I sit here and I relish in my powerlessness and pretend that I have no power, my life doesn't change. And I keep attracting all of the shitty people. I keep attracting circumstance after circumstance after circumstance after situation after situation after relationship over and over and over and over again. That's the same exact thing. This always happens to me. Always. And I've been there. I get it, right? I get it. So, but until you take ownership and say, I am where I am at because of me. Because of me, and this is my part in it, like radical ownership, like step into it. You will feel more powerful just stepping into it. Yes, it's gonna require you having to give up your however year long argument on why your family is toxic and why, you know, your job and this, that, and like you're gonna have to give up the argument, you know. But would you rather be right or would you rather be powerful? Because a powerful person doesn't sit there and blame everything else. They just act and they do and they be. And they have. It's simple when you are in your power. It's chaotic when you're not and pretending to be small. And pretending that other things and people and not admit like situations and circumstances that are not living, breathing things have more power than you do. So this is huge. And I really want to like drill this into your head because if you've been with me for a while, you've likely heard me say some of these things before, but like, this is like the key component. This is the key component. And it's so tricky because we've done it for so long. So it's not like you just take radical ownership and you're in your power forever. Like there will be other situations that come up where you are not in your power that start to pop up and show you, you know? Like, okay, I'm taking radical ownership of my life. I'm doing good. I feel in my power. I feel more confident. I'm making the changes. Mother-in-law comes over that you can't stand. And it's like, oh my God, her. It's all her, right? You run into someone that you don't get along with at the grocery store, or the cashier gives you a dirty look and is super rude. And you want to just attack, right? Or in your mind, you want to melt into the victim again and be like, oh, that was just so rude. Like, how could she? And it's like, she has no idea what I've been through, what I'm going through. And like, I just don't have like, it will test you. And so you have to keep prioritizing your own energy, your own power, your own radical ownership over your life, your own accountability. So anyways, if I need something outside of myself, I am not in my power, basically. And a mantra that I used to say a lot in Goddess Mode, my signature program that I did last year, was when I take responsibility for my world changes. And it is so true. So true. When I take responsibility for my world changes. This doesn't mean taking ownership over other people's feelings. And this is how you know. Your feelings and your actions are your responsibility. Other people's feelings and other people's actions are their responsibility. Right? You can only take accountability for your feelings and your actions and where you are at in life. So, when it comes to our power is our life force energy. So you always have a choice of what you do with that energy. You can pretend it's not there and play small. So you don't have to look at yourself because the ego always wants to hide. You can hold it in and keep it stuck and push it down. And again, make yourself small, hide in the shadows, not allow yourself to be seen, and pretend that you don't have it or that someone else and something else does and is more powerful than you. You can use it to destroy, like I said. But even better, you can also use it to create. And this is where things get really juicy, where if you are an artist, if you are a creator, if you help other people, whatever it is, right? Like you have a creative life force energy running inside of you that you are really tapped into and that others could really benefit from. And when you use that, you create magical things in this world. Magical soul-aligned things. Like you start creating from your soul. And that is like the most beautiful freaking thing ever. And things work out better than you could have ever imagined because it's coming from a divine force within you. So, when it comes to alignment, what I've really also realized is that alignment is really just being authentic. I used to think that alignment meant like my energy needed to be completely aligned and I needed to be like on 100 and feeling really good and feeling really magical and like all lit up and all of the things. And what I've really realized is that alignment is not that. Alignment is authenticity, is being truly authentic in each moment. Like if I'm having a bad day, just being authentic about it, not trying to hide it or push it away or fix it or get rid of it or whatever. Just being freaking authentic about it. Your energy is matching what you're saying. It's matching your actions. This is when the alignment of masculine and feminine energy really come into play. You are aligning your emotions, your feelings, your energy is aligning with your actions, your energy, and what you're saying. And when that happens, beautiful things are created and you start feeling in alignment. And so, anyways, so that is where we're going to leave off today. I have one more thing to go over here that I'm super excited about. So I wanted to really introduce to you my own personal next level. And this next level is so big and feels so expansive. I mean, I've been like crying on and off all day because of it. It's been absolutely insane. But my next level is that I am stepping into a new version of me, a new version of what I do here in my business and with helping other people. The next thing that I am really passionate about and that I've been helping a lot of other people with lately, and it's been skyrocketing, is yes, I'm like multidimensional, but I'm really starting to call myself a multidimensional holistic coach for other healers, coaches, revolutionaries, and badass leaders. So that is my next level of energy that I'm stepping into. And I feel like the wording kind of just all really came through recently. And what I'm really here to do and what I really feel like my mission is I'm here to really empower others to create like unbelievable quantum success while they also impact others on their journey. And so I help creators with big missions to capitalize on their gifts and on their own unique traits, on their own multidimensionality to impact the world, help other people, awaken other people, whatever it is, and live a life of freedom by breaking the rules and claiming their desires. So I know that was like a mouthful, but it feels like all of the things, right? So with that, I have decided that I am going to the next place where my soul is really leading me, because I've had somewhat of an idea about this for like the last 2 years now. But the next place that my soul is really leading me to is, I really feel like, since I am really embracing my own multidimensionality, like I don't want, like I want something that can be everything, where I can take you with me on this journey. Like I can be all of the things, wear all of the hats, take you with me on this journey. And right now, my big focus is like helping other healers or people that want to make an impact, coaches, like all of the 9 yards. Like I have clients right now that, are just killing it with all of the things that I've been helping them with lately. And it's just been miraculous what's been happening. And so I have been really gathering principles this year of like how I need, like my principles that I need in order for the art of my own business to work and feel like art. Without these principles, I feel like everything gets unbalanced and I start feeling like this is too much, or I'm burnt out, or whatever the case may be. I've had so many moments in my business where I've had to take steps back, or I've had to whatever, right? Like I've always followed through on my commitments and all of that. But like through the years, I've had so many times, so many up and downs in this journey of helping other people. Like, how do you help other people when you're going through something? And how do you help other people like when you're going through your own transformation? And what do you do when you're having an identity crisis? And what do you do when, you're still figuring out who you are? And how do you help people that are going through this thing and that thing? And what do you do in this situation, right? Like, and how do you continue to show up and be authentic? And how do you create magnetic content? And how do you speak to people and their souls, and like and like help people to feel like you're looking right through them, and like you understand them when you speak, and all of the different things, right? Like, how do you get your mission out there to the world and attract the right people for it? And this is something that I have been diving into so intensely lately, and it's really my calling. And so I've had to cut off other things to do this, and I'm still in the process of cutting off other things to do this, not because I guess I necessarily have to, but just because it's just not aligned anymore, right? And so it may be aligned again one day. But so what I have really felt lately, though, is that I want to embrace this multidimensional journey, and I want to take whoever feels called to it with me. And I've created something that is so different. I've never really truly seen done before, or done a lot, at least, I guess I should say. I've maybe seen things somewhat similar, but not completely. And I've created something so different because I really am so passionate. Like being in launch, my program launch that I launched and talked about, my conviction masterclass, I've been dropping in there pretty much daily, giving different lessons I'm going through, talking about my own journey. And this is exactly what I want, because I want a community that wants to learn about this journey. And I know that I'm going so fucking big in these next 3 months. Like everything feels so big and expansive. And I want to take you with me and tell you all the behind the scenes secrets and good shit, right? That you're not going to get on my free socials, that you're not going to get in like a, 1 minute reel, whatever, right? Like, and so this is really where I feel like I am being called right now. And so I wanted to really announce that basically I am up leveling. I am becoming pretty much a full-time coach. And I posted a post on my Instagram not that long ago. And I basically said how I'm creating a successful coaching business by the end of 2023. And I've had success and everything in my business already. So it's not like I'm not necessarily successful, but the success that I am creating is like next level. Like I'm really stepping into being a coach for other multidimensional healers, coaches, people that have a big purpose, big mission, and want to help other people in some way. That it feels like my next level, not just anybody that, and I mean, if the circumstance was right, it doesn't have to be someone that works with other people. But for a while, it was just like whoever, right? Like whoever wants help, I'll help, right? Now it's like I'm getting more precise on who I want to help. And so basically, I have decided that I am my next thing that really feels like the next soul-led thing for me is, hold on, I'm just trying to actually be able to show you this because I can't right now for some reason. My next thing is called, where are you? Okay, there we go. Sorry, Zoom just completely disappeared for a second. My next thing is called Co-Creatrix. And what I have created and made this into is it's a mastermind. So it's coaching, like we have coaching calls and stuff where you can get coached, but it's also behind the scenes journey with me, where I'm taking you with me for these next 3 months of 2023. And we are going out with a bang. We have 3 people inside. This is for men or women. I've actually had some men clients lately. Some of my clients are men and they are freaking killing it. It's been amazing working with some men, and just like they really are my first like men one-on-one clients. Like I've given sessions, readings to like men before, but never worked continuously with men, and they're just killing it. And so anyways, but this is for women and men. I just said that because I know I used to really mainly focus on women. So anyways, but this is like the energy of you can either watch or come with. But like either way, we've got fucking big things to do. And so if you're feeling called, like you have big things to do, like you have a big mission, and you want help in getting there, but like you don't want to do one-on-one coaching right now, because my one-on-one coaching is kind of like the top of the top. That's the closest proximity to me. So this is kind of like the next best thing. It's not a program, it's not a course. It is like, we're going to have coaching calls, get down and dirty. I'm going to get into what the hell is going on. If you have a business, if you help other people, if you make content, or if you're on your way to doing that or want to do that and want a space where you can plug in with other healers, coaches, creators, people that are going to help you and hold you accountable, and and me as well, and see what I'm doing and how I'm doing all of this lately, this is the freaking spot. This is the spot. Like you're going to be treating yourself and whatever you're creating like the masterpiece that you are, because this is your art that you are bringing to the world. And I'm going to be sharing the different things that I learned, that I go through, how I navigate the ups and downs. And, because it's not like all perfect lately. Like it's pretty much perfect. Like I'd say like 95% perfect lately, but I still have days where I'm like, this fucking sucks today. What do I do with this? And once I start navigating it, I share it like in launch lately, because that's just the program that I've had lately. And the energy in there is amazing and everyone's so supportive. And so, but we already have 3 of the people from launch in Co-Creatrix. And so I'd love to invite you into this. If you're feeling a fuck yes with this, if you're feeling called to this, I'm going to leave the link to it in the Zoom chat right now. And also there's a payment plan. If you like absolutely feel like you want this, but you would like a different payment arrangement, just reach out to me. Okay, so just reach out to me, and I will be launching this publicly tomorrow, where the price will keep rising. So I will likely raise the price like tomorrow late afternoon, because it is on pre-sale right now just for this first class. So, but I would love to have you with me, and so we can go to the fucking moon together, so we can take off in a rocket ship together by the end of this year. Anyway, I'm going to catch up on comments really quick. And before I let you guys go, do you have any questions? Any questions at all about anything that we went over? Is it all making sense? All of the things. I mean, I'm sure it's making sense. I don't mean to say that. I shouldn't say that. If you're in launch, then you already know. You can clock me. But still working on it. When you say, is that making sense? It's like you being small, right? It's like you being like, oh, does this make sense? Like, yes, it fucking makes sense. If it didn't make sense, someone's going to freaking tell you it doesn't make sense, right? Like, so I've been trying to stop saying, does that make sense? It is actually the first time I said it in a little bit. So you're welcome. Thank you. In terms of finding soul purpose. So this would be something I would have to work with you probably a little bit more on, like to understand your particular situation and you and your personality and your life. I feel like I could definitely help you, but I would have to understand more about you, right? Because just with a general question like that, like where do you find your soul purpose? There's a billion different answers I could give you. Follow your desires. What is the most meaningful to you? What have you led yourself through that lights you up? What lights you up? If things don't light you up, there's too many things draining you, and you have to get rid of those so you can be a clear conduit for what does light you up. Like my channeling and the way that I help my clients and the way that I like coach people lately is so freaking insane because I am a clear conduit. I have done the work. I am an embodiment of my work. I am like literally on the daily, like living and breathing what I do. And I have done the energetic work to clear out what is no longer in alignment in my life. And then through that, I get filled back up. And so, and it all just comes out. Yes. Thank you for bringing that up, Kristen. I do have a couple spots left, only a couple, for one-on-one coaching. So I do have that. You're going to be paying a little more than what you'd be paying for co-creatrix. So if you're interested in one-on-one coaching, just reach out to me personally through DMs or email or whatever works for you. Yay, I'm so happy to hear that, Naya. This was so affirming, coming out of a dark night of the soul, and this really confirmed all of the downloads I've been getting. Yay! I love that, Melanie. Yes. You're welcome. My main question is, what would you do when sometimes the emotional system is overwhelmed and I can't really prioritize doing anything because I'm just experiencing. Okay, yes. So I've been there and I was stuck there for so long. I don't know if you know anything about astrology, but I am a Cancer South node. So like I am very driven on my moods. When I do not feel in the mood to do something, it's very hard for me to do it. And so what I've had to really prioritize is like, I can't keep like putting my life off because of my emotions and my moods. Like I cannot keep doing that. Like it was getting me nowhere. I had this massive revelation in the beginning of the year when I was so emotional and still like going through all these emotions of my breakup and like, you know, feeling like I just, you know, was like very let down with myself and my business and all of these things in the beginning of this year. And I was just so emotional and I'm feeling all the feelings and all of the things, but it wasn't going away. And I finally had this realization and I was like, oh my God, like it's time to move the fuck on, you know, like it's time to move the fuck on. So feel your feelings. And once you've felt them, if you're still not in the mood, you got to like this is where the masculine comes in. You got to get your masculine badass to just be like, okay, embrace it. You're going to feel shitty, but we got shit to do. Right. As long as you're giving yourself that space to feel and you're not pushing past the feeling and you're not pressuring yourself to keep going and going and going and going when you're feeling something, like as long as you're giving yourself some space to feel and feeling it, letting it move through. My South Node is in Cancer in the 12th house too, Kristen. Alignment right there. But so as long as you're giving yourself that space to feel, and as long as you move like from there, it's like, okay, we're like, we got things to do. And I can't tell you how many times lately, and I've been really aware of this lately in my own life because there's been times where my schedule is getting busier, right? And because my Cancer South Node in the 12th house, I'm like, I like to have a lot of freedom and space. And I like to have, I need alone time. I need periods of alone time to like regenerate, right? And so with my schedule getting busier, I'm like, oh, how am I going to handle all of this? Like, you know, what if I'm not in the mood? But I've witnessed myself enough times now over the last few months, like any time that I wasn't in the mood, I dealt with it. I felt it, I embraced it, and I just was authentic. And I went and did the thing anyway, and I just was authentic about it. Just like I showed up here tonight and first said, I'm freaking nervous right now, right? Instead of trying to get on here and act like I'm not, right? I feel like this is where authenticity can come in. And then also like where you kind of get your masculine to come in and be like, okay, I know you're not feeling this right now. I understand. I'm not like pushing past your feelings, but like we got to get in badass energy, right? We got to still do the thing, even though it sucks. And we're just going to deal with it sucking. And we're just going to deal with our feelings and we're going to keep it moving, right? That's pretty much what it is. And once you witness yourself doing that so many times and all of the things get better. Okay. I will let you guys go. Have a wonderful evening. Tomorrow we meet again for our second class, right around 4 p.m. So 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So I will see you then. I think it created separate Zoom links, but I'm not sure if the email is going to send them out. So I may have to send you, hold on. Did you get multiple Zoom links in your email? I don't think it sent out multiple Zoom links. If it didn't send out multiple Zoom links, use this link again for tomorrow. Because the link that we used tonight, I made into a reoccurring meeting. So it should be good for tomorrow. So use this link for tomorrow, 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Let me know if you're going to be there. Thank you guys for coming tonight. Have a beautiful rest of your evening, and I will see you guys tomorrow. Bye.